I was shocked the other day learning about that the military recruitment standards have been lowered to meet the main thing is recruitment standards for the maintaining our force. Recently, my wife called my attention to a TV program she was watching, Sean Spicer, and he was interviewing a guy named, in fact, he was the former Secretary of Veteran Affairs, Robert Wilkie, and Wilkie was talking about what was going on in the military. And Wilkie said there's about 80% of our American youth of 17 to 24 were ineligible for recruitment into the service, either because of lack of education, obesity, or some physical problem, or criminal background. And nowadays, the Navy has actually lowered the standards a little bit more to, well, they will allow people to enlist that do not have a high school diploma as long as they get in the 50th percentile or higher of the Armed Forces qualification test. And we've also learned that about 30% of the students that do have a high school diploma fail that test. And patriotism, of course, we're not seeing that in our youth, particularly as I saw that particularly when I was teaching. So much of our decline of our youth can be attributed to a guy named John Dewey, who is considered I guess you call him the father of progressive education. And he took a visit to the Soviet Union, and he came back and praised Stalin's communist education system. And he set out to change our schools into essentially indoctrination centers. And at the same time, Dewey was also rejected the idea of teachers imparting knowledge. He wanted to force socialization. Now, he also founded several teachers' unions, and most notably is the American Federation of Teachers. And they have continued to do, to meet his goals, they have continued to doing that. And today we see that proliferation of the progressive ideas in the school system, particularly in the school boards and in the administrations. Now, I think we've lost the concept of duty, honor, and country. And our schools should be teaching values. They should be teaching thinking and reasoning and I call God-given values. And that's the key to self-mastery and being there for your success and also for making a good living. Unfortunately, the school systems are using social emotional learning, they call it SEL, to indoctrinate our children to think more, not thinking, but to look toward their feelings or their passions, and they're essentially trashing the idea of moral standards. Now, this is something that is not going well within our school system. And the other thing is, just think about that. How can a student read, write, or do math if they don't use reasoning, and if they've been forced or thinking more into our passions? And also, parents should be the ones that are directing their children's moral, their emotional development, and essentially their standards. That's where that should be. I think these nanny state, what I call nanny state proponents, have been focusing more on, in a way, reducing the amount of academics going and more focusing on what the child's, what their feelings, their attitudes, their behavior, and sometimes in their beliefs. And I think we've witnessed what's happening is a decline in our academic performance within our schools. Patriotism is an essential element, particularly of the American Legion. And in fact, the American Legion's Boy State program was founded in 1935, and that was to counter what they call the young pioneer camps that were part or established by the Communist Party USA, and that was done in 1922. So boy state program where we have high school boys that they be able to learn, they be able to actually role play in a variety of different things in the local, state, and community governments. And at the same time, but they're learning the rights, the privileges, and responsibility of a franchise leader citizenship. So I want us to continue to support the ideas of the Boy State program, particularly our Tar Heel Boy State program. And I want to thank you for your time and allowing me to share my concerns. Thank you.
Thank you.